Hello everyone, I'm Perfect1322 and this video is going to show the fastest fully upgraded industrial vehicles in terms of lap time. We're quickly going to go over the slowest vehicles right now, and as always the position counter is in the top left with the best lap time the vehicle achieved in the top right. This video only focuses on track performance, so if you're interested in top speed where braking, cornering and acceleration aren't relevant, check the link in the description for the top speed testing series, and if you want to know more information about this testing, including the extent to which it's accurate and how useful it is for you personally, have a read of the full description as everything that you need is in there. This video lists all vehicles and is correct as of the Supersport series update. For vehicles added after that or other classes of cars, check the playlist linked in the second line of the description, and feel free to check out my Patreon if you want to get these testing results a few days before the videos go up every Thursday. So the industrial vehicles class is one of the smallest classes in the game, but it's also one of the most varied. You know, there's so many weird and wonderful vehicles in this class that we've already seen. The dock handler, for example, the cutter, some of the vehicles like the cutter and the dock handler that you use in a single player mission maybe once or twice, and then you never really see them again. Some very interesting vehicles, and kind of interesting that they're all on very similar pace as well, you know, especially these few that we're seeing here. Obviously 10th, 9th and 8th positions, they're all around the 3 minutes mark, obviously very close between the cutter and the dock handler in terms of lap time as well. But yeah, they're not very quick, you know, 3 minutes is a very, very, very slow lap time, and I did have to get somewhat inventive with some of the lap times when I was testing them. For example, the dump and the dock handler couldn't make it under some of the bridges, so I had to sort of stop at the bridge and then restart on the other side of the bridge and kind of take an average of what the lap time would have been. But it's generally pretty accurate, you know, even doing that. I made sure to do that and compare it to something that was a similar speed to it. So, you know, it's the best that you could do considering they are such tall vehicles and, you know, they can't get under these bridges. We also have some of these sort of more industrial vehicles, as you're seeing here, that you would expect from the class, like the tipper. There's different variations of the tipper, one with 4 wheels, one with 6 wheels. We'll also see the mixer as well. There's 2 variations of the mixer, but the only difference really is the 2 wheels on the very back at the top of the mixer. You'll see that as we get to it. Obviously we're into the top 5 now here with the rubble. All of these are on very, very similar lap times. You know, the 1 minute 40s, they're all amazingly close together. It's pretty crazy that even though they're so slow, they can actually be relatively close in terms of pace. And, you know, there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to race these, at least outside of, you know, in normal races, not in a transform race where you have to create the track specifically placing these vehicles. So yeah, now we're on to the mixers. The mixer will be in 4th place and in 3rd place, with a slight difference between the 8-wheeled version, which is slightly slower, and the 6-wheeled version, which gets up into 3rd place. But obviously, you know, as you've already seen at the very, very start of the video, I feel like the star of the show for the industrial vehicles class is the Dozer. It is the slowest vehicle in the entire game with a nearly 9-minute lap time. The Dozer is just so ridiculously slow, and we'll obviously see the comparison between the Dozer and our number 1 vehicle at the end, and very similar to the utility vehicles video with the lawnmower. I'm not going to be showing the entire Dozer lap because it would just be ridiculous, but there is footage of the entire Dozer lap on my second channel, so I'll leave a link to that down below in the description if you want to check that out as well. But yeah, it's long, you know, almost 9 minutes for a single lap. It does make the Dozer the number 1 slowest vehicle in the entire game. The lawnmower is you know, in 2nd place, but the Dozer is ultimately the number 1. So now we come into 2nd place for the industrial vehicles class, and that falls to the flatbed. So that the flatbed, in comparison to the rest of these vehicles, actually feels pretty good. You know, feels pretty nippy, feels pretty quick, not too bad around the corners. A 1 minute 39 lap time is still incredibly slow, and the flatbed would have been our number 1 vehicle if it wasn't for a DLC vehicle. So they, you know, taking out the number 1 spot as it is now, this is how the industrial vehicles class was when the game was first released, and the flatbed, obviously it's a good few seconds quicker than everything else in the class because everything is just so slow. But, you know, the industrial vehicles class probably as an average is one of the, if not the slowest class in the game overall, but that average is brought up quite a bit by our number 1 vehicle, which is the Guardian. The Guardian gets a lap time of 1 minute 18.2, and it's the only vehicle in this class that you can upgrade and use in a regular race as well. You can use the Guardian in off-road races. That 1 minute 18 that it gets is actually pretty similar to some other trucks like the Sadler, the Bison, so it's a bit of a shame that we can't race those together. But the Guardian's a pretty interesting vehicle. It's pretty, you know, it's an interesting vehicle to drive and actually race with as well. But yeah, a 1 minute 18, you know, you can compare that lap time to any other class. You know, you can compare. That's something that you can always do with these videos. I obviously keep them very strictly to the classes that they are assigned, and the Guardian is officially in the industrial vehicles class, but it can be used in off-road races. But you know, all of the lap times are there, so if you want to know where one certain vehicle would place in a different class, you just take its lap time and see where it comes in the list. You can do that with the Guardian as well. You can go to the off-road vehicles video, see where a 1 minute 18 lap time would place it. It's not that quick for the off-road vehicles class, obviously, but yeah, it in comparison to everything else in the industrial vehicles class, the Guardian is, you know, by far and away quicker. Over 20 seconds quicker than second place is just ridiculous. Obviously, at this point, feel free to subscribe if you haven't already for new testing videos every Thursday and update videos when new cars are released, and check out other classes in the playlist. We'll also have the top speed video for this class next Thursday. But as you can see here, here's the comparison between the Guardian and the Dozer, and it's kind of comical. Like I said, the entire Dozer lap, if you want to watch it, even on 2x speed, it's still going to take a while, but the entire Dozer lap is on my second channel. Like I said, I'll link that in the description if you want to check that out. And we will be seeing the top speed for the Dozer, which is the slowest vehicle in the game. Remember, it will have the slowest top speed in the game as well, because when you get to these sort of really slow vehicles, it's pretty much their lap time is just determined on their maximum speed. But yeah, we're going to have the top speed for the Dozer next week in the top speed testing video for the industrial vehicles class. But yeah, you can just see it. You know, we've only gone through one corner in the Dozer, and we're not even going to make it to the second corner before the Guardian has finished the lap. And the Guardian's not even that quick of a vehicle when you compare it to muscle cars, sports cars, supercars, sports classics. They're all a good 10-15 seconds per lap quicker than the Guardian, and the Guardian looks like a Wagner in comparison to the Dozer. So, you know, I think the real star of the industrial vehicles class is the Dozer, I have to say. But that's pretty much it for this video. Remember to read the description for more info, comment with your thoughts, like the video if you enjoyed it, found it helpful, subscribe for more, and consider supporting on Patreon. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.